Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loads 15, where I'll be giving you my each way Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse race in action as usual here on the channel. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome to Lucky Loads 15. What I do is I give daily horse racing predictions in the format of an each way Lucky 15 bet, because in September I'm going back to university to study a master's degree in sports broadcasting journalism, and it'd be my absolute dream job to work in the horse racing industry as a journalist, and that's why I created this channel, just giving some tips, having a bit of fun, gaining some experience and gain confidence in making videos every day and just sharing with you my knowledge and love of horse racing. So many thank yous to the new subscribers. I've noticed we've had a few this week, so thank you and welcome aboard at Lucky Loads 15. It can sometimes be a bit of a rocky ride. Sometimes we have our good days and some days we have our bad days. Last couple of days have been a bit more better on track. I'll just go on how today's selections ran. First of all, we had two non-runners today. One was at Newmarket, which was Yolta. That was slightly disappointing there. I'm not sure if the ground had anything to do with that one, but I've noticed Yolta's become a non-runner a couple of times recently. But also as well, we had our first one at Haydock, whose name I cannot pronounce, but the meeting got abandoned at Haydock after the first three races, after that terrible incident of the stool handlers. He got, he got run over by the stools, or he had an accident with the stools, and subsequently, I'm afraid to say, he's passed away. So all our thoughts are with his family and friends. If anyone watches this video and knew that man, I would like to send my condolences, and will be thinking of him at this hard time. So it just shows you that even though we all love horse racing, sometimes those stall handlers have one of the toughest jobs in the sport, getting the horses to respond, getting to the stalls, and they have quite a tough job. And I just like to pay tribute to all those stall handlers out there who work day in, day out to deliver us the sport that we love, that is horse racing. But anyway, away from the non-runners, we had Palmerston, which finished in midfield, was our other selection. But our positive note today was our nap, and it was a winning nap as well at a fair price. Its final SP was 11-2, but I managed to get that at 7-1 at an overnight price, which I tipped yesterday. Ran a good race in the end. It was running powerfully and it got a lead towards the last furlong or so. It was being chased down slightly towards the end, but always did enough to hold on for the win. And that was actually our biggest nap winner for a while, and that was also our long shot as well on the vlog. If you're new to the channel, like I said, we sometimes, or we now always do, I should say, a nap and a long shot on these vlogs, just to give it a little bit more interest. And yeah, that combo today paid in for us today, and with the two non-runners you kind of get your money back, as it were, and with the 7-1 winner we ended up in a little bit of profit in the end. So it was disappointing that we didn't get the full house running today, but there are more important things in the world, and like I said, we'd just like to send our thoughts and prayers to the family and friends of that stall handler that died at Haydock today. So our thoughts will be with him. But anyway, I'm going to be getting on to tomorrow's horse race in action. Very good meetings on tomorrow. Be interesting to see what happens, because it's raining at the moment in lots of parts of the country, and the ground could get more softer as the night goes on and into tomorrow. So it'd be interesting to see if quite a few non-runners develop, and what horses will run and what horses will not run. So some of these selections might end up being non-runners, which might be a pain. We tend to do that as well on a Saturday. We've had a few non-runners of late on a Saturday. We haven't had a full house for a little while. If I can't remember the last time we had a full house of selections that ran on a Saturday. Must have been at least a few weeks. But anyway, away from that, our first selection that we go to tomorrow will run at Newbury in the 225 in the listed race there. And the horse that we've gone for here is quite an interesting one on paper, as one of the market leaders at the moment. It's called Best of Days, trained by Hugo Palmer. Ocean Murphy takes a ride. Now this horse is quite interesting on paper. Had fair good career as a 2-year-old. But last time out, it made its seasonal reappearance at Royal Ascot in a very strongly contested race, and you could probably argue that it did need the run that day. And also as well, it was untried. It was going at an untried trip where it was slightly on the up to what had been running over as a 2-year-old. They drop it back in trip tomorrow, which should definitely suit this horse. I don't know why they upped it up in trip so much when it really never come close to running that far before. So maybe it was shown some different signs in training, and sometimes that's the way it goes in horse racing. Sometimes you might think on paper you question those bizarre decisions, but obviously we don't know what horses like in training. But my guess is Best of Days probably did need the run, and hopefully will come on for that run tomorrow. In this race, it will be getting the £3 allowance, so that will come in good stead for it here, and he'll be gaining nearly a stone off a couple of his rivals there, so like Sparkplug, which is the favourite at the moment as it stands, but it'd be interesting to see as we get nearer to post time what the market favourite will be, if maybe this could be the horse Best of Days. But I thought, on paper at least, he was quite an interesting prospect and he should definitely make the frame, and I thought 7-2, that wasn't a bad horse to kick us off as our first selection tomorrow. Our second selection sees us then go to one of the jumps fixtures at Cartmel. Now Cartmel tends to be one of those tracks that you need good form over. Not all horses take to it because it's such a sharp, twisty track, but the horse that we've gone for here will run in the 305 tomorrow, and this horse does know this track very well, and it's bidding for a hat-trick tomorrow over course and distance at Cartmel. And the horse that we've gone for in the 305 is a horse called Boruna, which is trained by James Moffat. Brian Hughes takes the ride, probably one of the best northern jockeys around. This horse has been running really well of late. Like we said, it's going for a hat-trick tomorrow over course and distance. He seems to really love the track, and even though he has been raised by the handicapper somewhat by quite a few pounds to a new career high mark, I definitely think that will serve in good stead tomorrow. A few of the top market leaders at the moment, I know the Dan Skelton's got a horse that looks interesting on paper that's going for, I think could even be a 4 or 5 timer tomorrow. Looks interesting, but he's got Bridget Andrews abroad, that horse tomorrow, and that sometimes, even though she is a good jockey and I do respect her, maybe that could be a question mark on it tomorrow. So, but I thought Brian Hughes aboard this horse tomorrow, especially with his course and distance form, should definitely make the frame here tomorrow, and it's still going to be receiving some weight off some horses, so that didn't look too bad on paper, and I thought 7-1 was definitely a good chance to make the frame tomorrow. So that's going to be our second selection there tomorrow, Boruna at the 305 at Cartmel. Our third selection tomorrow then sees us go to Newmarket for another big race there, and this is going to be our nap for tomorrow. A horse called Stanhope, trained by Mick Quinn. Pat Cosgrave takes the ride, who's been in not bad form of late, riding a few winners here and there. This horse is quite interesting because last time out it won over the course and distance, and it's going for a second course and distance win in a row tomorrow, and the form from that race which it won last time is very strong. The horse that it beat that day by 3 lengths is a horse called Heartstopper, who's been running very well of late, and since that run at Newmarket has then gone on to win twice at Yarmouth, and prior to that as well it actually had one at Windsor, so that was definitely a good useful horse to beat that day. And I thought at 6-1 in quite a open race, he could be a major player, and I think he could definitely take to Newmarket again. That's also another track as well that tends to pay close attention to look at horses that run well there. He's run a couple of races there before. I think he only run once before that win at Newmarket on the July course, and he had a place, and that was one of his first ever runs. So I thought that horse tomorrow, Stanhope, looked a really interesting prospect and could hopefully go on again and follow up for a win over the course and distance. So Stanhope tomorrow is our nap in the 3:15 at Newmarket. We then go on to probably what is one of the biggest races of the day tomorrow, which is in Market Rasen in the 3:35. And a wide open race here, but the horse we've gone for here is Shelford, trained by Dan Skelton, and his brother Harry takes the ride. Now if you're familiar with us on the channel here, you might remember that we actually have done a double on Dan Skelton and Harry Skelton to win the National Hunt Championships this year. Dan for the trainers and Harry for the jockeys. It's looking okay so far, even though Harry is just a couple of wins off Richard Johnson, and I know Aidan Coleman as well has been riding quite a few winners recently. He's started to close the gap on Harry. I'm not sure how it quite lies now, but I think those three are quite tightly grouped at the moment. But Harry's got some good rides booked tomorrow, and Dan Skelton's been in terrific form of late. He's been training a lot of winners, especially with other horses that he's brought off other yards that couldn't win, and he's really turned them into some superstars. And it'd be interesting to see over the winter if Dan Skelton can continue his rich vein of form, Harry as well, because since I think about March or April they have really taken off. and they're definitely coming more of a serious contenders in national hunt racing, and could be a thorn in the side this season of the likes of Nicky Henderson and Paul Nicholls, Phil Hobbs. So they're definitely a good and up and coming force in the world of national hunt racing. And this horse that we've gone for tomorrow, Shelford, is quite an interesting horse on paper. 9-1 with bookmakers at the moment, so that will make our long shot for tomorrow. He ran a really strongly contested race last time out at Uttoxeter, a big race there, over 3 miles and 2 furlongs, where it finished second last time behind the Colin Tizard horse, which was again arriving in a good rich vein of form called Temple State Floresco, and that won really nicely that day, that horse, and that horse is rated over 150 now. This horse tomorrow, Shelford, I think it's rated at 129, but it's going to be receiving bags of weight from a lot of its main rivals tomorrow, and if it could put in another good bid tomorrow, it could definitely make the frame, and I thought 9-1, that was still a very good price for this horse. So I thought Shelford was definitely worth a good punt tomorrow at a bit of a longer price, and I think he could definitely win the race tomorrow. So that's going to be our long shot there as well. Also as well, I'd just like to thank you, like I said, for all the new subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and please like us as well on Twitter and Facebook, and that the more social media I can get following me, and also the more subscribers and that, the more I can improve the channel. I really want to take this channel forward and maybe get away from the tipping side a little bit and get out there and make some vlogs about the behind the scenes of horse racing, maybe visiting some stables, as I don't live too far away from quite a few good horse trainers, so that'd be really interesting if we could maybe get some permission to do some filming with some of those stables. But I can only do that with your help and you subscribing to my channel and keep following me day in, day out, because the more followers I have, the more likely it is that they'll take an interest and possibly say yes. So please subscribe to the channel, and we can definitely make it bigger in the future. So let us know as well what you think might run well tomorrow. I like to know what your selections are and what your tips are, and if you want to take me on, please do. I like it when you take me on and see what other selections you think might run in the races that I've selected tomorrow. So leave your comments in the comments box below. Also as well, tomorrow we've backed obviously 2 races on the National Hunt and on the flat. When I started this channel, it was just when Cheltenham Festival was going on, and I've got to be honest, since I've been into horse racing, I've always been more of a National Hunt fan, but I've really enjoyed taking more note on the flat, especially this year, and I'm absolutely loving both spheres of racing. So let us know what you prefer, National Hunt, or are you more of a flat fan, or do you like both? Let us know in the comments box below. That's a question I'd like to ask of you, to let us know your opinions on that. So yeah, gamble responsibly, don't bet too much. If you really think that I'm on to a winner, then by all means have a bet, but don't bet too big. Bet within your means. Follow us on Twitter at LuckyLoaders15, same on Facebook as well for more updates and videos and more responses throughout the days of when horse racing is on. So yeah, thank you for watching, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be seeing you soon.